Hey, episode 21. I got a lot for you guys this week, and I still have these adjustable perches for G-bodies. If you need these, go back to episode 20, comment down below. I'd like to get them sent out to somebody. I had a few people inquire about them, but nobody hit me up in my email, so I didn't get any addresses, so they're still here. This week, I have a long block for you guys. I'll show you a little bit about that. I have the instant center brackets from Trick Chassis up in the body side for the upper arms. I got a hood now. I got a fiberglass hood from Champion Hoods. Saved a few bucks. It's not the lightest thing ever, but took some weight off the nose, so I'll weigh that and get a difference for that. And we got some exciting new stuff coming up in Maine. I think we have like 5 or 7 events this year that are going to be no time races. We got one no prep race in July, and yeah, I'm up. Beep. Whoops. Cool. So let's get into it. All right. It's time to unveil the Dart SHP 6-bolt 388. I'm just kidding. I'm not that fancy, you guys know that. Okay, whoops, I forgot I wrapped it all up. Just your standard high mileage setup here. Kind of. So what we have is, actually let me set you guys, I'm gonna set you back down. I tend to walk around. You guys probably notice that. If I'm talking, I'm walking, I'm flipping. I'm probably giving you guys stomach aches. Okay, so this is the first power plant for Ron Burgundy. I do have dreams and aspirations for later than this motor, but because I'm just trying to get the car done and I've already friggin' spent all my money, this is where we're starting with. So I'm going to start kind of from the bottom. First of all, this is, I think I told you guys in another video when I was cleaning the block and we were checking it out and ball honing it and whatever. This is an LH6. It's an aluminum 5.3. I think they came in around like 06 or something like that. It's still a 24x reluctor on the crank, but it's not an L33 because I believe it had, I know that it had the cylinder on displacement stuff, displacement on demand. So it's got a new valley cover and that's all deleted, and it has the front cam sensor with the 4x teeth on the, or you know, for the sensor to pick up on the cam gear. So first off, the block and the crank have always been together. It's still a factory crank, factory block. They were in a van or something originally. I got a Summit oil pan, just a Summit Racing. It's got a spin-on filter. It is a deeper pan, obviously. I think it's 7 quart, and it does have 4 trap doors down here for baffling. I did have to shim the pickup tube on it like 1/8 of an inch to get 3/8 gap from the pickup tube to the bottom of the pan floor. It's just something I wanted to throw in there for you guys to know. I bought BTR factory style main bolts for the mains because I didn't want to reuse the stock torque to yield stuff, and I do have some ARP main studs, but without having the block, the mains line board, or at least honed, I think, checked or whatever, you know, you shouldn't run those because they'll distort the mains. The main bearings are Moly extra clearance. They got extra thousandths built into them. So all my mains were like 3 thousandths, 3.5 thousandths oil clearance. We checked them with plastic gauge. The king bearings on the rod are extra clearance as well. I got like 2.5 thousandths of rod clearance, oil clearance. This motor has Summit Pro LS rods and pistons in it. They rate that stuff to like 7,500 RPM and 1,200 horsepower in a forced induction application, so I'll be flirting with that, I think, eventually. It has BTR. BTR came out with their own 7-layer head gasket, like the LS9 stuff, but it's a small bore. It's a 3.940 bore, so you can run it on the 4.8 and the 5.3 bore stuff and have it not uncover the sleeve. Because on the aluminum blocks, when you do the 4/100 bore LS9 gaskets, which people have done for forever, and this motor had them, you know, 4 years ago, but it uncovers the sleeve with the gasket, so you have like the gasket seal is on the aluminum part of the block, and there's nothing sealing on the steel cylinder sleeve. So now it has that. What else is on here? I got ARP, just standard head studs. It has Johnson. It does have fancy lifters in it because I wanted to rev the piss out of this thing. It's got Johnson short travel, link bar lifters in it. Smith Brothers trunnions, which is just the bronze bushing. It's got billet PRW rocker rails. It has the BTR Ultimate RPM package for the springs that I shimmed, and that's what all these little Sharpie numbers are. I got on the bottom my installed height of each spring after I shimmed them, and then on the top is all my 0 lash on my push rods. So I have to add 30 thousandths to this, plus or minus 5 thousandths for the preload on the lifters. So it looks like this side's all going to get 7.600 push rods, which I can't find anywhere. That's another story. Oh, it's got a Melling 10296 oil pump. I did not touch the spring or anything. It's just how it is, comes in the box. And I did that because I have that race pan and I think it won't be able to empty the pan. I have swapped a couple cars to 10295s, which are not the high volume, because they're running the stock style pan, and when you let go of the trans brake, you lose all your oil pressure. Well, not all of it, but pretty damn close. So hopefully, even though this pump will do that with a stock style pan, I'm hoping the extra capacity and the trap doors, we should be good to go. This is just a Summit brand SFI approved balancer. It's for an F body. I got that Summit SFI flex plate on the back. Oh, I welded a timing indicator. I welded just a piece of flat stock aluminum on the timing cover, drilled a 1/16 hole in it, used the dial indicator, brought cylinder 1 up to TDC, made my mark, put the balancer on, and so now we have a true indication of 0 degrees when I set my ignition timing. What else have I got here? Oh, we ended up with 5 thousandths end play on the crank. And the only other kind of strange thing that I did was I shaved, I'll show you a picture of it, I shaved the thrust bearing on the crank in one spot to get more oil to the thrust side of the crank. So when the converter is leaning on the engine hard enough to make the flex plate move, like on the trans brake or you know, maybe just going down the track, I'll have a good oil flow to the thrust surface on the crank. What else have I got here? I think that about wraps it up, you guys. These are just stock $7.99 casting heads. They're not thwarted, nothing fancy. They do have a valve job on them, just standard. And they have been resurfaced, but they haven't been cut a lot. You know, it's not like they were cut 10,000ths even, I don't think. They just were clean, so. That's it, man. I can't get any push rods, they're all out of stock. So these are just sitting in here right now. I did gap the rings on it. That's about it. I mean, just plain Jane stuff, man. Nothing crazy or too trick about it. Okay, real quick on the hood here. I just weighed it, and we saved 25 pounds off the nose, so that's pretty good. The hood is 3/16 thickness in most spots, so which matches the Zeus rail setup that I bought from Motion. But it looks like definitely I got a little bit of work to do because some of this is 1/4 inch thickness, and so I'll just have to take the flap wheel to her and thin her out. Looks like it's just on the edge here, just like this section here, not the entire hood. So if I can just skim that, the flap wheel should be good to go. This is just a 2-inch cowl, guys. Nothing crazy. I actually wanted a flat one, but they didn't have a flat glass hood unless I spent like, you know, $800. So this was like half the price, and it'll get the job done. I'm going to show you now those trick chassis instant center brackets for the body side on the upper control arms. First off, I lowered the rear another 1/2 inch because to get the arm geometry that I wanted, I had to. Well, I didn't have to. To get it a little bit more where I wanted it, I had to. If I raise the car up 1/2 inch, I think gain a little anti-squat, and it moves the instant center out a little bit. So right now, the way it's set up, it's going to hit the tire a little less, but it's going to have a shorter instant center, and that's going to make the suspension react faster, which hopefully my shocks will slow down enough so it doesn't crush the tire. But there's those 5-bolt trick chassis instant center brackets. I just welded them on this one side that you see, and I actually ended up throwing a bolt in the bottom of the brackets. I figured, why the heck not? Just to pull them down. I pulled them down with that bolt, and then I set the depth of them with the stock arm bolt, and then I welded it after that. So that gives us all kinds of adjustment. I got 1 hole to go up, and then whatever, I think 3 down. Is that right? I can't see that well. Yeah. So that's good to go, man. That was a ton of work though, getting those in there. I probably should have just bought the crazy Marilat setup. Maybe the car will get it one day, but I think I have plenty of adjustment right now. It's actually, the car would have more adjustment for a radial tire than it does a slick, but it's well within the ballpark of where I want it to be to start out for the slick, so we're gonna give her hell, man. Wanted to mention too that on the upper arms, the brackets shorten the arm up 1 3/4 of an inch. So if you guys are looking at those trick chassis brackets, just remember that. If you have a stock length adjustable arm, it still won't go short enough to give you the adjustment range when you put those brackets in. I had to cut 1 1/4 inch, I think, out of the adjustments on the arms, weld them back together, just because I didn't want to buy new arms again. But I got it to work, and I got my pinion angle set, my axle center, and I still have some adjustment there. So I'm gonna round the video out this week with a little information on the Maine no time and Maine no prep events coming up, which, dude, I am amped. I've never really had like a car that was purpose built for anything, so, and for it to be like that grassroots style, grungy, you know, drag bucket that I've always wanted, and then also now to be able to have some classes that it fits into is it's friggin' awesome. Trying to pull up the, first of all, the rules. There's 2 tracks in Maine, 8th mile, and one of them that's further away from me is, I think, having 1 event a month. They're doing a series, like a point series kind of, for no time, and their rules are super like open, like hopefully the classes fill up. Oh, sorry, it's not a big tire class, it's only small tire. Must pass tech, doesn't need to be registered, all glass windows, no Lexan, factory style dash, 2 front seats, must have working lights, no back half, no tube chassis, and no fiberglass bodies. No wheelie bars. All cars must be driven to and from staging lanes, no pushing or pulling. And the only rule for tread or tire is the 10.5 tread width. Any size height though, and you cannot have a tread width wider than 10.5, so no 10.5 Ws, I guess. 8th mile, no time, instant green wind light only. And I think Winterport does have the 7-second staging rule, which is good, so there won't be any burn downs. I don't know if Oxford, the other, so they're doing that setup is like 5 times this year. I'm gonna try to make every damn one of those for you guys. Now, Oxford Dragway, New Oxford Dragway, is 5 minutes from me, and I do intend on driving the car there and racing it and driving it home. Oxford has a small tire and a big tire class, I think, for 2 or 3 races this year, and I don't think there's any other stipulations other than that. And then in July they have a no prep race that I'm pretty excited for, and they let me see what the rules are. Small tire, non-W, no tube chassis, no back half, must have a VIN tag, factory wheelbase, stock location firewall, so nobody can set their engines way back and have them as an armrest. Got to have all the body panels. No wheelie bars. And no ballast. All the ballast must be within the body lines. Thanks, Beaterbaum, for that, right? With the butt hurt bar. No weight requirement. No all-wheel drive. Sorry, Tom. So they got a couple other classes though. I might as well read them. Maybe some of you guys are going to be around. They got big tire, small tire, stick shift, tailgate, which is obviously a truck class, and then daily driver. And you can double entry, like if you have a truck on a small tire, you could run tailgate and small tire. Or you could run if it's a truck with a small tire and a H pattern shifter, you could run tailgate, stick, and small tire, I guess. But if you have a daily driver, you can't double entry in anything, which is good because that'll keep that daily class what it should be. There won't be any small tire cars in daily. Anyway, that's cool. So shout out to, I think this is Grade 8 Motorsports, Brian over there helping put this on, and Les Williams, the guy that leases the New Oxford Dragway. It's kick-ass, man. I love it. Pour your own puddle for prep. There's a chip draw. Dude, we got like a little cash days type shit going on in Maine. This is awesome. I'm like pumped, man. This is going to be sick. So that's July 16th. first event is May 22nd, I think, at Winterport. I'm gonna try to make that with the car. So we got a lot to do, some time left still. That's about it, man. That wraps it up. Sorry, a lot of talk in this episode, but sometimes, you know, I gotta fill you guys in. I know some of my videos, it's just like sparks flying and other shit. So I got somebody calling me right now, so I'm gonna end the video. Thanks for watching, you guys. Comment, subscribe, you know the deal. See ya. Thanks.